Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm doing something a little bit different today than normal. After posting one of my last videos, I had a viewer make a suggestion. And I'm always looking for what people have to say, good or bad. As long as people aren't being a dick about it, I have no problem listening, to be honest. And this guy wasn't being a dick at all, though. He was just like, hey man, you know it would be cool if you made a video of the KA-50 over the Normandy map after the changes. And then a light bulb hit me. I'm like, well, you know what? How about we do one better than that? How about I make a video of all 4 helicopters, since I have all 4 modules, that are offered in DCS World over the Normandy map? He's like, that'd be great. So I'm like, here we go. So anyways, we are over the region now, and I want to say it's Rouen or something. This is where the Cathedral of Notre Dame is, and that is the new model for the Cathedral of Notre Dame that they had added to DCS for the Normandy map. That's one of the new objects or locations, I guess, that they've added. Yeah, this helicopter wants to kill me most of the time. And I know I should like turn the flight director off, but I tend to still try to fly it anyway. Absolutely amazing model though, ain't it? Pretty cool stuff. And then if you look over here, not only does the city look nice, I like the curved buildings. But we also have the rail yard, or railroad station, whatever it's called. But it's new. That much I do know. Pretty nice looking model. As I float sideways past it. There we go, that's a better view. And there I go again, flying this thing outside of its limits. Hey, you gotta be good at something, you know? Pretty snazzy looking bird, huh? So let's cruise out this way a little bit, and we'll take a look at the trees. And the tree detail is just amazing compared to what it was. Things are no longer just a bunch of lime green, crappy looking trees. I can almost pick out 3 different types of trees. Or maybe, well, the shorter ones to me look like there's a couple color variations in these short ones that didn't exist before. And then there's that tall one that looks like it has slightly different leaves or fruit on it of some sort, the tall skinny ones. But at one time, these all looked like lime green and real shitty. And now, there's actually some variation to them, and they look rather nice. And I think this terrain at this point really lends itself to helicopter combat, you know? I'd have killed for this back in the longbow days, you know? Or even Comanche Hokum, and I can't remember the other one that those guys made too. Or Gunship. And just the terrain detail down low. This is the kind of stuff you really can't see from an airplane or a fixed-wing craft, because you're usually cranking, you know, 500 to 600 knots across this stuff at full afterburn, and here we're doing what, 200? You can actually start to see things that way. Those look at those lines in the field, man. That just looks good. It didn't look this nice before. Definitely not. Alrighty. Let me choose a slot. Let's take a look at the MI8 now. Now Now this is one that's going to fall out of the sky on me usually. Because it's going to say, failure. Maybe not. Usually it's like, you know, generator failure, generator failure. So this is Mont Saint Michael down here. This is another one of the new locations, or I guess structures that they've created. You've got little buildings all around it. That looks amazing. Let's see if I can fly this one without wrecking it today. This is one that can get away from you pretty quick too, if you're not careful. Come on. Let's head back that way now. There we go. Let's get them damn rudder pedals let go. What a beautiful structure, huh? I think the ground detail looks way better too. Those textures definitely look different to me. And here's another thing about this structure I thought was interesting. So in all 4 helicopters, I have managed to land them on that hotel that has a little diamond on top of it over Dubai. And man, that was hard. But here's a new challenge, and I'm gonna, not today, I'm not gonna do it, but if you look closely over here at the structure, right there to the right, looks like, right there. That looks like that could be a helicopter pad. Do you see what I'm looking at? That big flat surface towards the top there. That might be something to try out soon. That's a new challenge for you guys out there. If you have the Normandy map, man, let's see people landing on that, because that would look pretty cool. And that's the coastline. Alright, let's choose a slot. Let's go back. Let's go to fly. Let's go blue now. Let's take a look at the Gazelle. And I'm starting off the Gazelle here near the coastline, towards the top, where a lot of those free flight missions usually start out for this. Pull this guy up. I was going the wrong way. Give it a little bit of right pedal, not left pedal. I think left pedal is the Huey. So I don't remember these fence lines here. There's actually fence lines near and around a lot of the air bases now, which is pretty cool. So this is the coastline. Now look at the birds. Water looks really nice, and I don't remember the water. Do you see how the water is kind of swirling up towards the coastline right there along the sand, and the sand's a little like whiter there? I don't remember it doing it that nicely. Before it was just a couple jagged, I don't know, curves, you know what I mean? Now it looks like there's a lot more detail to those, and they're almost random, if that makes sense. Do you see how they're, let me get closer here. It actually looks more natural now, how the water is just, you know, brushing up against the coastline there. Oh, and look, you can actually see pebbles and stuff. I do not remember that kind of detail being present before. And then the rock faces look nice too. Just the textures in general, I think, look way better. This is definitely a nice place to take a helicopter ride. That texture right there I do not remember either, for the sand and stuff right there. Notice the detail of the fences along the coastline outside of air bases now? I don't remember that being there either. And supposedly they've added a lot more detail to a lot of the new air bases they put in. I'm not sure about the existing ones. Those look the same to me. Here's where you're going to see some detail too that wasn't present before. So as we get up ahead here, you're going to see more of a fortification along the wall here. And if you look closely, you can even see a bunker up ahead. So over here, you see that? Like barbed wire, fortification. There's a little bunker right there. So that I do not remember being present before. Very cool stuff. And again, here's a wider shot of the countryside. Alright. And lastly, let's take a look at the Huey. Now, this is in that same region where we started out at, with the Cathedral of Notre Dame and the train station. This is the helicopter I feel most comfortable with in DCS World. I think the only problem I have is I'm doing this with Track IR. I'm doing this on my 49-inch super ultra wide screen, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I've lost my depth perception that I have in VR. So as I get close to these treetops, I'm just not feeling as confident about how close my skids are here. I just don't have that depth perception. It's really hard to explain to people who just have Track IR and a beautiful monitor that, you know, VR really does offer something else. But once you've done it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So here we go past the cathedral. I love the sound of these things, of these rotors, man, how they just kind of thump harder sometimes when you make a tight turn. Something really awesome about this helicopter. I think the only thing that bums me out about the Huey right now is right after I got this, a month after I got it, they came out. There's the rail station. They came out with an update that changed the armor, I guess, of a lot of the vehicles in the game. And in doing so, it made all my machine guns on the Huey kind of nerfed. Or not as effective, I suppose. So, a lot of the fun I was having in the Huey isn't as much fun now, I suppose. I mean, the rockets are still effective, but the machine guns are way less effective on a lot of these targets at this point. So the only thing I think I didn't find out of the new locations slash modeled objects showcase pieces that they put in here is something about some abbey. I didn't find that one, but I did find 3 out of the 4, and that's what we just looked at. The Mont Saint Michael, the Notre Dame Cathedral, and that rail station back there. As for what this abbey is or where it is, I haven't found that yet, and I'm not sure where that is. I found these by basically Googling them and then looking at a map and then trying to match them up with this map based on what the Google map had. And surprisingly, I was able to find some of it pretty good based on looking at the real world map and then matching that up with this map in the mission editor. So that's how I figured out where these locations were. But man, in a helicopter, this looks grand. It really does. I feel like I'm going too low. Ugh. Again, that's where VR really comes in, you know. I think, to me, the depth perception of VR when flying a helicopter is unmatched by a 2D panel. And also the depth perception and ability to really conduct air-to-ground operations, I guess, in VR. Is a notch above what you can do on a flat panel. Like I said, it's very hard to explain, but once you've done it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Just beautiful scenery. If the trees were different, you could almost... I wonder if somebody made a modification to change these tree models, if this would look more like Vietnam. You know what I mean? There's another challenge for somebody. Somebody could dig into this, make a mod that actually changes these trees to a different type of tree. I wonder if that would help make this a Vietnam mod, because that would be pretty sick. MiG-21s were over Vietnam. Hueys were in Vietnam. The A4. I don't know about the F5. I think the F5 is more of a 60s technology that came into effect in the 70s. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we didn't have F5s in Vietnam. Vietnam was more like F-105 Thunder Chiefs, F-4 Phantoms, lots of bombers, that kind of stuff. A-4 Skyhawks. But this does look absolutely grand. I'm really happy with the Normandy map now. And again, I used to harp on this map so bad. I was like, this map looks like shit. Now I really honestly cannot say that. Like I said, I think at this point, this is the map for helicopter operations. Just the ability to have so many trees to mask behind, you know. You got a lot of possibilities going on here at this point. So anyways, that is the Normandy map. That is the Huey, the Gazelle, the werewolf, or black shark, whatever you want to call it, and the HIP, the MI8. All 4 helicopters on the Normandy map, detailing some of the cool new trees and terrain detail, objects, and just overall graphical upgrades that they have performed to the Normandy map as requested by a viewer. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. It's been a pleasure taking you guys on this cruise today. This has probably been one of the more fun videos I've made in a while, and I think that's my aim throughout 2020 at this point. I want to know what viewers want to see. You guys tell me what videos you would like to see, what kind of stuff you want to see me do. I'm not going to sit here and promise you I'm going to do every one of them, but I will pick out the ones that, you know, seem fun and something I'm capable of doing. And I look forward to doing that. I really do, because this is the kind of stuff I enjoy more than anything. Just cruising around, checking out the details, taking in the scenery. Hey, look, there's a bird again. I swear I've seen more birds today in this map than I've ever seen in all of DCS World lately. There's another one down there. But absolutely fun stuff, guys. So, I'm going to leave it at that. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to hit that like button. And until next time.